Thomas Markle Jr. Boy, do I have time for you today. And also, please do not tell me what I should and should not talk about in the comments. No, we're going to talk about this today. And of course, the interview was done by another great grifting scammer on YouTube, Andy Signor. It's crazy how all the people who is often it amazes me how all the people with shady backgrounds always seem to create this facade that they're champion against cancel culture and they're champion against people who are done wrong by society. It's almost cultish in my opinion, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Thomas and this scammer. So Thomas Markle Jr. did another interview once again, talking about Meghan Markle. Oh. So they discuss Meghan, how she is disowning her father, how her father really wants to see her, how her father gave her everything, how her father did everything. It was a great father. How Daria, that's a good starting point. Went on to criticize this moment right here, or criticize that Daria was doing something public and it was with celebrities and stuff. And of course, the little things count because Andy Signor got it wrong, of course, and said this was a red carpet. This is not a red carpet. This is a charity event, and it was a charity event where, yes, celebrities were there. And of course, she is Meghan's mother, so who wouldn't want to take a picture with Meghan's mother? So, but of course, they have to go with that. Oh, she wants attention. Again, I'm gonna always say this: Daria has been the only person in Meghan's family who has kept quiet, who's kept dignified, and most of all, protected her daughter, regardless of anything. She was supposed to be a parent and to protect her daughter. Can't say the same for Thomas. And also this idea that Thomas was getting attacked, and that's the reason why he went to the paparazzi and did all these things, because he got attacked and no one was protecting him. Sir, they was talking about Daria just as much as they was talking about you, saying she was on the wrong side of the tracks and she lived in Compton and it was bullet holes and crimes in her neighborhood and all types of stuff. So let's keep the bullshit. And the trolls that you associate with constantly spread false information about her, claiming that she is a drug dealer or was a drug addict. So cut the BS, okay? And Andy went on to claim and say that this whole narrative that Thomas raised Meghan a lie. Meghan has already confirmed that her mother and her father both equally raised her, and she lived with her mom and went to her dad on the weekend. So let's cut that lie. And if Andy, you're such a good interviewer, why didn't you really go in and really question his credibility about the fact that he was in his sister's life? Because if he was in his sister's life like he says he was, and if these rumors are true that Meghan's mother Doria disappeared from Meghan's life at some point and then came back, how come Thomas couldn't give you the reason why? He didn't even know the reason, but yet you just let that slide on pass. But of course you did. And of course they continued this narrative that the white father of the biracial daughter was the one who did everything for Meghan, while the black mother of the biracial child was the absentee parent, didn't do anything, she wasn't there. But if Andy did his research, shall I remind you all of what this man said at some point about Thomas, since he cares about his father so much?
And my dad was never really around. Doria was, she was around more than my dad was. My dad was always working, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. Or my father, when I was growing up, was very distant. He wasn't around very much at all. His work schedule, I mean, just he just wasn't there. It was mostly my mom raising us all the time, but when my dad was around, he was just quiet and secretive, and he didn't really want to be bothered much, and was.
Oh, but does it get better?
I gave him a pool, I think. He says, you can get two women for the weekend for $50, and the things they'll do to you are incredible. You'll be a changed man. I kind of left it at that and didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I just know of a couple other times that. So when my father talked to me about, you know, the girls on the trips to Thailand, it was disturbing, and I didn't want to discuss it any further with him.
I always said there's something about Thomas Markle that Meghan is protecting that she does not want to expose. And I'll keep it at that. But if Meghan is supposed to apologize to her father for whatever reason, shouldn't he be on his knees begging and pleading for his father's forgiveness for what he has said about his father? Also, this belief that Meghan and Harry, but particularly Meghan, just has spoken out against her family just because, has annoyed me to the fullest extent. Like, I hate how people focus on the reaction and not the cause. Because let's not forget, and I explain it up here in this video, that it was Samantha. Samantha literally came out the day after the article about Meghan and Harry's relationship, came out and spoke horribly about her sister, just out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't even a day that we knew that they were a couple. And let's not also forget that he was speaking out against Samantha at some point, and his mother, and Samantha's ex-husband, and Samantha's children. Did we just forget that part? Let's not forget that Thomas Markle Sr., first wife Rosalind, Thomas Markle Jr.'s mother, spoke nothing but good things about Meghan and spoke ill of Samantha Grant, not Markle. Rosalind would go on to this article in the Daily Mail. She would say, I never hear anything but good about her, speaking of Meghan, from my son, Thomas Jr. But Samantha has been dogging her for the last 20 years. 20 years you've been hating on a person and been jealous of a person? Because not only did your own mother say this, your ex-husband said to you were jealous of your sister. This is a quote from Samantha's ex-husband where he says, I disagree with the statement that she raised her until she was 12 because her father, Tom, he said that when Meghan was born, Samantha distanced herself from the family. Again, something ain't clean in the buttermilk. Oh, let's not forget that Samantha also spoken out against her family before at some point, where she accused her family of years of racial bigotry. Oh. And I can agree to that because, well, I'll just get to the receipts. Ain't this you, Thomas? That looks like blackface to me. And there's also this.
If you go on that royal tour to Montecito, you'll get to see the Duchess of Sussex.
Listen, I don't expect Andy Signor of all people to be fair. But he claims he really is only interested in getting to the facts. So, if you're interested in getting to the facts means you can't be biased. Getting to the facts means you get all, and research hard. You, my friend, has not done anything. It seems like you just attach yourself to anything that will distract people from your own issues. And you're not the first to do those type of tactics, and you won't be the last. But please stop trying to make this family, these three people, out to be some sort of hurt, damaged, left to fend for themselves victims. Because remember, it is only these three, out of everyone in Meghan's family, long distance or not, that has continuously spoken out for whatever reason. I mean, we know what it is. So let's stop the BS.